Pray God for all you love it. Let us all understand the unity there is spread. We thank you, God, for the leadership. We thank you, God, for every member. Now, God, we pray, Lord, that you enable us, Lord, to understand the vision, integrity, structure, and accountability. Lord, now, Lord, we pray, Lord, your presence be with us in all that we think, we do, and we say. For the building of all your kingdom. Bless God.
Amen.
I would also like for us to have a moment of silence for John Union Roosevelt, Mike Irvin passed Director of Life this morning. Please guard him.
Thank you for the victory. Thank you, Lord, for the life. Thank you, Lord, for the privilege of the Father of our lives. Now, Lord, we want to deliver us. We get back to you every throne. In this name we pray.
Please listen to Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to its republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll do a roll call. Mr. Story, yes. Tim Quinn.
Present.
Lady Cornigan. I'm present. Wayne Crawford. Here. Mary Lamar. Darlene Sutherland. Lisa Cruz. Amy Stumbo. Will the stewards please stand and be recognized? Speak up and give us your area in the back.
Tony Brown, medical center. Only touch, that's so deep. These one of these hospitals.
Miracle Home Medical Center.
Ron Coughlin,
Lynn Cornegate Student Life. We have our interim treasurer here today. Does everyone have a financial report? Please review. And if you have any questions, please proceed to stand and ask. Questions? If not, can you entertain a motion to adopt the financial report for January? Dr. Brown, get a second. Questions? Discussion? All in favor? Signify by saying aye. Aye. All disagree, same sign. Pass. This is a bad time for us all. We will do the best we can to move forward. Are there any executive board members here from the committee who would like to have a report? No report. Any committees here that would like to make a report? If not, I'll move on to the president's report. The rerun of the election has been decided to begin March the 16th. Ballots will be mailed out. So hopefully all addresses, as best as possible, have been updated. The rerun election ballot will be counted April the 7th after 9 a.m. You must vote again in this rerun election. The last election, those ballots will not count. So it's like they're starting over. So please vote. If you have any questions, call the office at 294-5265 and speak to Lolita. Sheila may not be here to passing of her problem. And Lolita will make sure that those questions and inquiries will get back to the committee. Going to move forward. Negotiations may begin the first week of April. Therefore, I have sort of called out Tim and I, our executive vice president, for names of those who may be interested in being on the team and the committee. As I understand it, we will have a team that will give we'll have those who assist at the committee. We may also have alternates, maybe one or two alternates, just in case something happens with one of the team members. The 2015 CWA OSU negotiation team will be. And these are the ones who requested to be on the team. And we had enough to fulfill all those requests. It will be Jason Lacey, Patrice Myers, Anthony Sutton, David Hughes, Stephanie Johnson, Miracle Long, Marvin Newman, Roger King, Tony Brown, Larry Brown, Dan Cornegay, Crystal Harris, Lorraine Sutherland, and Wayne Crawford. There will be, for the first time, ground rules for the internal team meaning CWA team. And that's because I've been told some things that we might want to be mindful of, for lack of a better word. We will not have people coming in, have our late, that's disrespectful to the team, it's disrespectful to management, and we must respect each other. No outbursts. Leave your emotions at the door. It is a time where it's a little difficult because at times it may seem that management might be offensive, but we're not going to go to that level if that's what they're trying to be. Yes.
On the negotiation team, is it an appointment or is it by a vote of people here?
Well, fortunately, the number that requested to be on the team was exactly the number that we need. So they made it by the numbers. We didn't have like an overflow, so we had to have a vote.
I said a question is, do you have a vote here on the negotiation team or did y'all pick them?
No. Okay, appointment. They're appointed, and they're not even appointed yet because there are ground rules. I'm going to get to that. We have ground rules established for the first time because we need to start respecting each other. And I say that because anytime you're late or if you're emotional, if you're going to have outbursts at the table, you can't get anything done. So this is a new procedure. So after we all meet, and these are the people who requested, after the agreement is signed for the ground rules, then they will be appointed.
Okay, so the thing is that I'm from East Hospital, and when we had the meeting, I did ask, but I think that at least one person from each area should be represented, so we could talk about some issues that are at our work site.
You're right.
I don't know how you picked them or whatever, but I think that's the way to negotiations, they might, recess for a minute. That's what I'm asking.
That's fine, I appreciate that.
But
We ought to talk as a team, because this is about all of us, not me or just the people that are on the team. And the reason I say that is because we're going to have alternates. We don't have any alternates now. We'd like for maybe you, if you would like to.
Well, I'd like to try to build a negotiation
Okay.
team, because we have nobody here from East Hospital
Okay.
that's going to build a negotiation team.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, because we can only have so many at the table and so many in the community.
I understand.
And, if you don't have one from every area, then you would fit. Since you're committed, we want to give you that to do. I appreciate you wanting and committed to wanting to be a part of it. But now I know, because we put a call out, I didn't get any names back. So I had to deal with what I had.
Well, I never got I come to the meetings and stuff, I never, and I've already asked about it when I first came to the meeting, and I ran for the executive board. And I said, I need negotiations coming up. I've asked about it before, and I've got the committee here now, and I'm just saying that I don't know how you do it, but I would like to
No,
request.
it's not me, sir. What happens is, we put it on the website, and like you said, you know that it was coming. I didn't get any responses. The responses I got through our office manager, Lovia. We put a call out, and we got 15 or 16 names. And I used those names that I received because I want everybody to be involved. You expressed your interest, and I'd love to have you involved.
Well, the reason I ask is that because sometimes you take it so people, like I have been in negotiations before, and I understand the procedure there. Some of these people have not been there, not experienced. You got to be sharp in there, because if you're not sharp, we're going to lose a lot, or try to hold on to what we got.
Well, as we just discussed, you're going to be either on the team or the committee. You need to know. I'm not, I welcome your comments. I want you involved. I'm not, I'm not fighting or anything. I want us to be a team. We have to work together.
Well, I understand that. I'm just there's representation, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do too. Because each one of us in here are representatives of this union. So anytime you have a suggestion or idea, bring it forward, please. I appreciate that very much. Miracle?
I was just going to speak up and speak, and he did it for the membership. That he wanted to be on the negotiating team. I would facilitate the email actually went through, but I didn't read the email.
I didn't either.
My name was actually not on the email, so you may not have received that email.
I think what Lolita did was send an email out to those who were in the last team. I'm not sure how she did it.
I got to guess. Sometimes, you are overlooked a little, but my name wasn't on the last of the email that went out either. I know Stephen put his name on the paper probably a couple of meetings ago to say he wanted to be on the negotiation.
Yeah, I didn't see that. And I look to our office administrator and our administrative secretary for help, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done, has been done, and will be. So I rely on people. I rely on you to tell me. It's not intentional that you are overlooked. So when you do it, when you did, bring this forward, and then you notice that you want to be on the team. And will be either a team, committee, but you will be very much involved. And I appreciate your interest.
From the committee, that's what you get from the team, from the voters. If the committee votes on the regular team.
The committee and the team work together. The
Right.
team is at the table.
Right.
Yeah.
One at the table, committee, votes on the two that's going to be at the table, come from the committee.
No, if I understand what you were saying.
Well,
You say it again, because I'm not understanding.
Okay.
What I'm understanding is that the team sits at the table, the
Right.
committee and the team work together.
Right. Where does the team come from?
Where do they come from?
Yeah, who votes?
We volunteer.
Volunteers. That's what I thought the committee would vote on, would have, that they would have picked the team.
No, they're one. They're one.
Oh, their appointments.
Yes, and after the ground rules have been read and signed, you move forward. You might want to move forward, but I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, well, I just object to the way the team picked.
The team was only the one that requested it, and and I can only go back, we have so much time to get this together. We start the first week of April. This is March. We have to get together. The stewards can put information out. I mean, I'm one person. I'm working. I got a lot to do. I have to do the duties that need to be done. I have to do that. So I have to rely on. We all have to work together. So it's not on me. It's on us. It's working together. You brought your concerns forward. You're going to be a part of it. Okay? There's nothing to object to. We're all going to be involved. Then, but I'm just going to let you know, the people that just follow us, the people that, because I've been doing it for 2 years and been on, I think it's 3 or 4 negotiations, that's the way it's always been. Rich and them just, when you volunteer, you want to be on negotiations, maybe you just come and make, fill out the paperwork to have you excuse.
So what is the bylaw?
Well, right now, we're in, you got to how it's been going, this is the way that it's been going. Now, Richmond wasn't doing it right according to bylaws, I don't know what's in the bylaws, but I know that this is the way the procedure which we've always done. Anybody and everybody throughout is welcome to be on. I think it's the committee or the team, one of the other, and we all meet. Richmond always took fillers. Anybody that's up and wanting to volunteer to come over here, because it's tedious and a lot of times you're not going to get paid for all of it. You're volunteering a lot of your time. And I'm going to move forward, but yeah, I mean, you'll learn, as you say, you'll learn some things about the ground rules and things like that as we move forward. But we really need to get a team together.
Okay.
We have this now, and it was based upon those who expressed interest. So we're going to move forward.
I didn't know about the bylaws. I got to look at the bylaws to see the real way. I don't know how Richard did it, but I just feel it should be done.
Well, a lot of things weren't done by bylaws we had this, but they are being followed now.
So that's why you do that problem.
Yeah. They will be followed now. Okay, so we're just doing the best that we can. And we all have to stick together. I just wish we would all think about that. There's a lot of division. We have to try to stick together and be strong. Like you said, in negotiations, if we're fighting, if you think that's going to be seen and divide and conquer, we have to stick together. Let's help one another, not be against one another for change. I think that was what you think.
Yeah, I heard that usually different people volunteer be on the next position. That's not true statement. We have always
How did that happen in the past?
we predominantly chose stewards, we picked the stewards from every area. And we chose those stewards who were there just for the reason that Mr. Hunter stated, because they had the knowledge of what's going on in that area. We also, so we had an bargaining team, and then we had a table team. And also that team consisted of almost 30-some-odd people.
Okay.
And so as a steward, you almost knew that you were going to be a part of the bargaining committee.
Okay.
And we never had told people to volunteer or anything like that. Now, there were sometimes maybe your staff rep, of course, he was always a part of the bargaining committee. You never had a point to where he volunteered, he just showed up, and that never and ever occurred.
Okay.
So,
Well,
each region, and he spoke from Mansfield, from Lima,
that's what's going to happen. So let me say this,
areas.
Kevin, let me say this. Thank you so much for your interest. I would love for you to be on the committee. I'd love for you to help us out in this, because we have to come together. We need to work together. This is very important. So please consider, being on the committee. And so we can figure all these things out. We want this to be a good meeting. We want to help one another, work together. So thank you for your interest, and Mr. Keith and Mr. Hunter's part interest. But let's work together, let's figure this all out, and let's get it done. That's a very important thing for our members. Let's get it done. So thank you, and please consider this on the committee. Let's move on. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about the surveys that I received, and thank you for returning those surveys. It's determined from the results that I've looked at that the evaluation system is not right. I don't know because, I'm retired. But I am here for the members, and I want to know what's bothering them. I want to know who's going into contract and who's going out of contract, so that I can share with the team. Let's all be on the same page. This is very, very important. And the evaluation, number one, wholeheartedly, thumbs down. And there were some other things. Managers' respect was kind of low as well. And to me, those things need to be at our meetings with Justin and Gibson. I think those results should be shared with them so they can see how the people feel. And when we come to the table, just maybe we can get some movement on getting this evaluation, maybe work, or take out. It has to be evaluation system, but it needs some more development, I think. And I think of listening to the members, maybe we can all come together with some language that'll fit us all with one goal. If you want to evaluate me, you want me to do good, what goals do we have? In my job, because everyone's job is different. In my particular job, what can I do to get the maximum in terms of a raise? Or maybe another job, if I want to go for another job. What do I need to do? So those discussions need to be held with your manager, but your manager has to be equipped with that information. And sometimes the workers know more than the managers because it's the workers' job. The managers are not, don't know the job as well as the worker. But I think we need to work together. All of us should be working together on this negotiation. Not just the team, not just the committee, not just the attorney. All of us need to put in our suggestions and our ideas on how to make things better. That's where the survey comes in. That's why I put the survey out. I wanted to know how you feel. And that tells me what needs to be fixed. So I don't have it all categorized yet. At the next meeting, I will let you know the results of the full results of the survey so that you can know what we need to work on at the negotiation table. Did everybody get a survey? Yes. Yes, sir.
I got a question.
Yes.
We got the election coming up, and we don't know who wins the election, who's going to be at the table.
Correct.
Correct? So my suggestion is that I know the negotiations start in April.
Yes.
But I suggest that you talk to the university and let them know that maybe we start the negotiations a little bit later because of we're not set on our leadership.
Well, things are taken care of, sir. What has happened is the first week is ground rules. That's the ground rules between the university and the CWA.
Okay.
That's all that is. And then after that, the dates will be set for negotiation. What I do is continue to keep business flowing. I don't want anyone, regardless of who the successor is, to come and have to start late with either getting a committee, talking to Ohio State University. I want them to be able to take the ball and run with it. That's how I work.
I was saying that we have an election, we got something going on, just a suggestion that we would give them a letter stating that we could start a little bit later.
No letter. The letter of intent comes out very soon, into this month. We've already communicated. Everything's been taken care of, believe me, because that's how I work. They know what's going on. They know after the 7th, there's going to be a president, executive board, executive vice president. We already know those things. I just don't want to keep saying it over and over. We already know those things. I take care of my business. Business is taken care of. So you don't have to worry about that, sir. A couple of hours to kind of clean up, bug the floors, the bathrooms, the garbage, things like that needs to be taken care of. We threw around a wage figure of maybe $12 an hour because we have a budget problem that we're working on that we want to keep it tight. The budget right now is around close to $40,000, and that's good news for me. Yeah, my daddy got money. funds. So we have watched our spending, and we will continue to do so. And I'm sure whomever the successor is going to do the same thing, because we don't want to be like quicksand and sink. Okay, and if you're not watching your spending, that's what's going to happen. So we'd like to have someone to come and clean. I've been emptying the garbage and cleaning bathrooms and doing some things, but I don't mind doing those things. I work in I care about this union. This union is my love. So if somebody got to do it, it's got to be me. I don't care. If it's full, I'm going to empty it. That's what happens. If we need to sweep, we're going to sweep. But I'd like to hire somebody because I have a lot on my plate because, like I said, I want to continue to work. I want to continue to take care of business at hand. And so those things, I would like to have a member make a little extra money and be committed to keeping our office. So please get the word out. If you know anybody who would like to come to the Union Hall after work and maybe set up chairs. We had a gentleman who was interested, so, you know, we don't get any other interest, might be him, who came in and set the table and chairs up free of charge. And that's the kind of person I'm talking about. Somebody who's committed, somebody in their heart, you know, this is their local, I'm not charging for every single penny. I want to help in the best way I can help. And that's the person I think deserves to have a job here, working in maintenance. But let us know if you are interested, call the hall, if you know anyone that's interested in being a part of cleaning up the office and getting a little, maybe small wage on the side. Any questions? I'm going to move on. One of our executive board members, Darlene, is looking into a snow blower. The lot is a mess. We have people stuck in there. It's not safe if someone is stuck there in the evening, come to a meeting, what have you. So we need to have some ideas on if you know someone who has, you know, they can come and take care of the lot or in front of the building. We've been doing that ourselves. The executive board went out and we put salt all around as a team. And I loved it because we were doing something together. We were doing something as a team. We're trying to build unity from the inside out. So we all have a stake in this. That lot is all of our lot. Not my lot, not your lot. It's our lot. And any one of us can hurt ourselves out here. So if you know anybody, or if you would like to try to shovel or something, or you know someone who has a truck that can take care of it, I don't know what those numbers would be in terms of how much you pay. We'd have to research that once we get someone who has interest. And the executive board will look it over and then we'll decide if we can afford it. But we need to make sure our building is safe, the outdoors are safe, so that we can come and go without any problem or any health risks. Any questions on this level? Yes.
I think that's a point of information.
Sorry, I can't hear
A
you.
point of information.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you a question. Can we at least have an agenda next meeting?
Have a look.
Agenda.
We have one. I'm working on the agenda.
I was about to so everybody else can see.
That's never been done. You and I spoke earlier, and you know, you want things different, but I'm doing things my style, one. And I'm doing it according to agenda that my secret has put together for me.
Okay.
So we're doing those things, sir.
That's your style, okay?
Yeah, everyone has a style.
Okay.
I'm not Richard, I'm not Kevin. I'm taking care of my business.
Okay.
My business is this business. My business is this membership. My business is the core that is not very strong and needs to be put back together. And it takes a lot of hard work. But we have to be together. We can't be divided. I'm going to say that 1,000 times. We need to be together. We need to work together. We can't do this by ourselves. I'm not the union. We are. So we have to stick together. If not, we're going to keep falling. We're already falling. We're going to keep falling. So we need to stop and come together. Any questions? Yes,
I just, for a point of order, want to know, are we still in the president report?
yes. and not very much longer.
Okay.
If no one has any other questions, concerns, then I can entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting, because I have nothing else on my agenda.
I mean, we have to,
Oh, I'm sorry,
accept the
new business, I'm sorry.
Accept the president's report.
Oh, can I get a motion to accept the president's report?
I like to make a motion.
Can I get a second?
Seconded.
Any questions, any comments, any, all in favor? Oh, yes, Chris.
Do you feel, because I know that there was a motion made in January to have an extensive financial report, and I see that the finances have changed considerably. So is that still in the works, because from my understanding, it's supposed to be presented in February?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the report is in the office. I gave it to Lolita to make specifically for Mr. Hunter. And I'm not sure, we have a new copier that we just got yesterday, so I think she's having some problems getting that started up. But please stop by and get the report. So I told her to make 3 copies. It's about, I want to say about 40 or 50 pages.
And then my other question is, so since the finances have doubled, are we now saying that we're out of the detriment? Because I remember before it was said that we only have about $4,000 or $5,000 in the account, and now seeing that it's 65 in total assets, so are we at a better place than where we were when it was said that we only have $4,000 or $5,000 in the account?
That report is a January report. This is March. So what happens is we have, those bills and everything that we have to pay. So that's why it's really close to 40 instead of 55.
Okay.
So that's like a back report. And the only time we can do the report is after we get the next month the invoice from the Huntington Bank, with our bank statement. So we're always behind, but the information I gave you in terms of, we have like close to 40,000, that's current. But we still have some other bills upstairs that we still have to pay in the interim treasurer, when we get Thursday to make sure those bills are paid. Yes, Mr. Lecter.
Hi. Thanks for putting the survey out. That was really together, and I thought the questions were great, and I returned mine.
Yes.
I'm among those that didn't know there was a notice out until after the fact for the committee. So I volunteer for that if I'm needed, but I've already
Thank you.
had my input through the survey, and I was really impressed with the list of people who did happen to get on the committee.
Thank you.
But I want to, and that's very assuring to hear those names and be familiar with some of those people, and I think that's what people in the group are looking for, is that kind of unity and togetherness. So thanks for your courage in stating that and stepping up to pull things together. I think the good news is the university management is in a lot worse shape than this local is in terms of disarray.
Well, that's
Even
good.
though-
That's good to hear.
Even though they have lots of capital and power, I think some of the stuff they're doing is really spooky. And I wanted to warn about 2 of the things they do that we might be able to head off in selecting the committee and getting people to the table. One game the university plays is to release people at the human resource level, but not with their area supervisors. So as we're going into bargaining, we might want to write a letter securing release at all levels rather than just one, because otherwise you end up doing the dance with the university where your area department does not release you for negotiations and human resources does. That might affect some of the people on the team. The other thing I'm concerned about that we might want to think about, getting the ground rules approved by the membership and not just the team, because management and the team getting together might not see everybody's concerns. One of the ground rules they often make is limited contact with the public. Based on what our demands are, we may need to contact the public. For example, if we decide to change the evaluation process
Good idea.
or move from merit pay to across-the-board increases, which we might need to do, the public will have to be informed because those were public demands on the university, as if they knew what was going on here.
Community outreach.
Right. We may need the community outreach piece to do effective negotiations come April and going forward. So those are the only 2 things I was going to say.
Wonderful. That's why you need to be on the team. That's why we all need to talk. We all need to give ideas. Please don't put it on me to be perfect, to think of everything. Like I said, this is about us, not me. And we all learn from each other. We all have something to add to the committee. So I welcome
I have one more thing that might take some of the pressure off of Mike Steepers. There's an agenda in the, there's an agenda in the bylaws that's approved, and I don't think we can change it. We can skip parts of it at the meeting. But, well, we can change the bylaws, but it's a lot of rigmarole, but it's a pretty thorough agenda, and we can skip old business, new business, whatever we want in the course of the meeting. And just have that be the agenda, so nobody has to make one up. That might be easier to just use the bylaws each month and skip through them if we need to, like today. So those are the only three things I've got, but this is great attendance for a union in somewhat of a crisis. So thanks everybody for coming.
Exactly. I think that's a good idea, and I think Tim and I will look at that, and we'll come up with the best suggestions together on what we need to do, because the meetings have been ran a certain way, different leadership, different procedures. It's okay with me. If that's what my members want, that's what they want to do. Like I said, we're all different, but I am open to grow, because I want us to grow together, not apart. It's just that I don't want us to attack one another, I want us to be together. The attacking should be done. That's over, that's behind us. I don't think Richard will want it. I don't think Mr. Urban, neither Urban, Jim nor Mike would want it. So we got to make them proud. So what we got to do is come together and try to keep all the negative out of this meeting and amongst ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves, look out for each other, and be strong together. Thank you. I have the ground rules too, but I'm going to give Crystal the opportunity.
When we talk about the committee, I didn't see the list, but from my understanding, there are
Excuse me, just a second. I was just told there's conversations going on in the back room, please just, have our attention on the meeting. Nothing, I'm not saying anything to, different. Just want respect. Yes, ma'am.
I haven't officially seen the list, but from my understanding, that there are individuals from Secretary of State that's going to be on the negotiation team. Is that correct?
No.
So when we, on the negotiation team for OSU, did you put out that list yet?
The list for what? That's on the team?
Right.
I got it read. Yeah, that was read. Nobody got secretary today.
So that's why I was
You're on
asking
it.
for clarification.
You're on it.
Okay.
You're on it.
No, I was just asking for clarification because I missed it.
Yeah, no, the Secretary of State's office have their own team down there.
Oh,
They have people that they're considering. And the Ohio State University has, their expertise individuals for Ohio State. We have a regional hospital.
No, I said I'll watch the YouTube later because I missed it.
Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, the motion to accept the president's report is up, but after that, I would like to read the ground rules and, then we can. You have a question? Can I get a second? All in favor of accepting the president's report, signify by saying aye. Aye. And those who do not accept the report, signify by saying aye. Okay, we're going to move on. Question and answer? I wanted to bring the team ground rules, because Mr. Lester would like to have the membership hear them, and maybe even move on. And see if we can discuss it, because I put these together myself. So if you have any changes, please feel free to chime in. And then we also, at the end of the meeting, have a guest speaker as well. Okay, there are 11 rules. Must be present, must be present and on time or may be removed. Dress as you would going to work, unless otherwise notified. Lunch on your own. May have to prepare for negotiations on your own time. May have to negotiate before and after your normal working hours, however, you'll get paid for 8. but not after that. We have to negotiate for 10 hours, and we get paid for it. One spokesperson, normally Attorney Mike Moses or CWA President. Emotions must be left at the door. Ideas and suggestions must be discussed in private with the team. No public disagreement or public infighting. Negotiations, language, and details may be discussed with the team in private. We must stand together. It's the last request that I make. If you have any changes, please feel free to add them to this. But there are other things that we may decide, which is now on the list, and that will be decided by either the attorney, Mike Moses, or the president of CWA. But I think those are clear. Yes,
When you say dress to go to work,
of course, dress as you would. Or unless otherwise notified. In other words, if you wear a uniform and you want to not wear uniform, all that's discussed in, that's not something that's a big deal. But the whole goal here is to be professional and respectful and unified. That's the goal. Everything else, work in the middle. But we're all, nothing difficult. Everybody's hard. No, I'm not saying you work. I'm just saying, things are going to be lax, except for being on time and being respectful and being unified. Those are something I think is very important and we ought to keep in consideration. Yes, Mr. Lesher.
Quick clarification, the 8 hours pay for university employees, the 8 hours by contract, you pay for the university, correct?
The 8 hours of pay, you'll be on payroll. You'll be excused for that.
I see nothing wrong, myself, I see nothing wrong with these guidelines, except I think changes by the president and union attorney should be approved by the membership.
Are you going to make a motion?
I will make a motion to that effect with that amendment, that we approve the guidelines, and the amendment be that any changes to the guidelines also be approved by the membership. That's a democratic
Any
constraint.
changes to the ground rules?
Right, like by the president or the attorney be checked
I got it.
by the
You
membership.
agreed upon?
Right, by the membership, yeah.
Okay. The only thing I'm thinking about there is if it's a legal or something legal that might want to, add to it, just for safety's sake. Can we hold off on that, or you guys want to go ahead and discuss it? I'd like to see open for Mike Moses, our attorney, and or the president. I don't want to pigeonhole the president, whoever that is, from doing anything. Yes.
And these are CWA negotiating team ground rules, correct? Because once you meet with the university, they're going to want to set ground rules for the negotiations themselves, and that's something else altogether. Okay.
Yes. So do we want to leave it as is, or you want to go make a motion to, if there are any changes that the president and or the attorney makes, we want that to go by the membership?
I would add the university to that, or university management to that. If anyone makes changes to the ones we're approving today, those be checked at the
But these are
membership.
attorneys, these are just for us.
Yeah, these aren't negotiating ground rules. They're just
Just for the team.
CWA team ground rules and how we should behave.
Internal, say like you would sign it, and if you agree to this, and you said you had no problem with it, it's just internal. And they're not like set in stone, or you're not going to be pulled by the ear, or anything like that, unless, let's say, you come in an hour late and you're negotiating, then you might get pulled by the ear.
As I mentioned in the survey, it's important for me that the membership be first and sovereign. And in the past, the attorney and the president of the union have made sidebar agreements with the university that we never got to vote on.
You
So
know what,
that's my
that
concern.
I'm with you 100%. That happened before, and I was a little disappointed about that. Because I don't know what you said. I don't know what you agreed to. And I was very unhappy with that. I'm not, if I make it, I would not do that. you take me aside, I'm gonna go to tell Steve, sorry. Or you're gonna take Steve member with me on the sidewalk, because we have to be transparent, we have, hear it all the time. We have to be transparent, we have to be open. And because if you don't, people start to think negative things.
Right.
And they get suspicious.
Right.
And it could be something that's positive, so it should be shared.
Yeah, I think whoever the president who
Right.
moves into that office would think that.
I think they would be that way. I mean, you know,
But to be
this would
cautious.
be Kevin
Yeah.
and or mine first time. And I think that both of us are open to that. That is, you know, I can't speak for Kevin. I think he would be open to that, because I think he would be open to anything that the members want.
So I guess my motion is to approve the guidelines for us internally with the membership to vote on any changes.
Okay. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you get clarification of what we're voting on, because I don't think that what we're talking about has not happened before. So I just need a clarification before I vote of what we're voting about. We're voting about the
motion is-
changes to the contract
Any
we
changes.
voted on.
That's the contract. I think you're outside. Any changes to the ground rules
Oh, the ground rules for here, for the
for
university?
internal, y'all please forgive me. Internal ground rules. If there are any changes, it has to be brought by the membership and discussed, moved, second, and voted. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Pass. We have a guest here. Thomas, please, can you please step forward? Bunch of cards on here. But all these flyers that you see here, Thomas has lots of them to hand out. There are some developments that are going on that Thomas is going to give you maybe 10 minutes of what's going on and what cause of action he would like from us to kind of help save us. Thomas, please. And your title.
Hey, I'm the state campaign lead for the state of Ohio, and I'm here today to talk to y'all.
CWA.
CWA. I'm here to talk to y'all about the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Does anybody know what the Trans-Pacific Partnership is? David?
I do.
Yeah. Right, so this has been one of our biggest priorities as a union for a few years now. And for everyone that doesn't know, the Trans-Pacific Partnership is a gigantic trade deal that would send jobs overseas, that would lower our ability to negotiate good contracts, lower our safety standards, make it harder for us to get ratings. A lot of folks might remember NAFTA in the 90s. You know, we entered into a free trade agreement with Mexico and Canada, and it sent a lot of good factory jobs overseas. That made it harder for us to negotiate good contracts. It hurt our community because there's more unemployment. And in reality, this state still hasn't recovered. Well, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is what we're fighting right now, is like NAFTA on steroids. It essentially encompasses 40% of the world's economy. So we're talking countries all around the Pacific Ocean. Mexico, Japan, Australia, Indonesia, Brunei, Chile, all these places. Places like Vietnam, where people make 25 cents a day. Child labor is rampant. And we could see a lot of our jobs being outsourced out. We've seen tons of jobs go overseas. What this trade deal would do is it would allow big corporations to continue doing that. Now, they would rather pay folks pennies than what they've got to pay a union member with a contract. So we've been fighting this thing, and so far we've stopped it. You know, they tried to pass it 2 years ago, and we've stopped it so far, but it's coming down to the wire right now. We think that in the next 75 days or so, they're going to introduce it, probably in April. And the way a bill like this gets passed, because it's so unpopular, is a mechanism called fast track, which a lot of people don't know about. And what that does is it's a vote that Congress would give away their ability to amend or debate a treaty to the president. It would just be an up and down vote. So they're going to have a vote on this trade deal that none of us have seen, no one in Congress has seen. We don't know what's in it. It's a secret, up or down. You know, the little we do know about this trade deal is scary. We know a little bit. There's been leaks that have come out of the negotiations. I would say one of the most astounding parts is this thing called the State Dispute Resolution. That's not the proper name, but it would allow corporations to sue countries over lost profits based on regulation. So for instance, right now Marlboro is suing Australia because they think teenagers should be allowed to smoke cigarettes. Right? So you can imagine anything. They could sue America because we have a minimum wage. And they would have made more money if they didn't have to pay folks minimum wage. So this deal is rotten. They won't let us know what's in it. Deals like this have sent jobs overseas in the past. And you know, at the end of the day, what I would say is, if this is such a good thing, why can't we know what's in it? Why does it have to be secret if this is actually good for the American people? So, I'm going to make this quick. Basically, the way we've stopped it so far is putting pressure on our members of Congress to be against this thing. Many of you have probably made phone calls. I'm sure some of you have written letters and done things like that in the past. That's what these flyers are about. These flyers up here, there's actually a typo, that's the wrong phone number. But I'm going to pass out a flyer, and that flyer has a phone number that you can call the CWA Action Hotline. That will then send you to the office of your congressional representative. You know, some folks are against it right now, like Joyce Beatty here in Columbus. If you're with her, say, you know, I want to make sure you stay against this thing, and I want to thank you for being against it. I live in T-Berry's district. He's for it, so we got to convince them. But I'm going to pass out these flyers, and I would like, if everyone could, to make a call. All right? We got to stop this thing. You know, we can't afford another NAFTA. This state can't afford that. Unions can't afford that. Other things are going to be happening around this issue. I know some folks are from Lyman in here, I heard. But for everybody in Columbus, we're going to be having a big town hall meeting on the 25th of this month. We're talking more about this issue and really showing our strength to these politicians so that they know people are against this. We don't have a date for that, but I will get a date and we will get, you know, flyers out so that everyone knows when that is. So are there any questions before I hand out the flyers at the phone number?
I got a text, and I'm one of the people that signed up to receive, you can sign up to receive the CWA actual text, but I got a text last week, Tuesday, or early part of this week, to call Joyce Beatty, no fast track, so that's you guys, that's
Right.
the text?
Right, well, that came from D.C., but, you know, we're all working together to make sure that we stop this thing. And the best way we can do that is by making our voices heard. There's a lot of big corporate lobbyists putting pressure on all these politicians before this thing. They need to hear from us.
So, the 855 number is your number or what?
The one we're using is
1-888-966-3836.
it's actually 9836. We got a typo in here, but I made new flyers. But I'll pass those out in a moment. Do you have a question, Cynthia?
Yeah, I wanted to add a little something to that. Please think about when you call a registered voter. This person said, I'm a registered voter, and I want you to vote for me. That to me gives notice that I can vote for you or not, and that might put them in vote. And if you make this call, if you let us know, and you kind of keep tally on how many calls are going through. You can make more than one call, right?
Oh, yeah. And honestly, I'm going to ask everybody to make more than one call.
Yeah.
You call once a week, you can call as much as you like, but, you know, they're feeling pressure to pass this thing right now. So we got to continue to make our voice heard. I'm going to pass out also with this sheet, something with a little bit of details on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. You can just read over that, and I think you'll probably be amazed at all the nasty stuff that's in this bill. So are there any more questions, or I'll pass this out? Yes?
I really appreciate you coming, Tommy, and talking about this issue. I want to say I have used the automated method of contacting your politician's office. It's simple, it's easy, and the materials they generally send out really put you on to the issue to the point where you can talk with people, the politicians you might vote for, and let them know your concerns. The other thing to know, and that I was clued in talking to you the other day, is there are many progressives that think the Trans-Pacific Partnership is the elixir to get our economy going. So organized labor is part of stopping that. CWA is in the forefront of stopping that. And if you get any of their materials online or have access to their materials, they've got a lot of detail that really expose it for the frightening secret deal they're trying to put through. So your automated call and participation in anti-TPP stuff and fast track stuff could make all the difference. It's critical to be involved. So thanks for coming out.
Thank you. And I think you hit on some good points there. You don't have to know everything to make your voice heard.
Just a question.
I was going to ask if you had a website or some, that we get more information, because we're going to talk to whatever representative we will want to go across with more education on this subject.
Sure, sure. Yeah, there's a great website that's been set up by the union. It's called stopthetpp.org.
Is there a way we can link that to our,
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I'll send it all. And this one thing I want to talk about. I'm going to give y'all a sheet with a lot of facts. You can learn more about it. Plus, there's even more information on top, stopthetpp.org. But at the end of the day, they're going to say, this is good for the economy. Well, NAFTA wasn't good for the economy of regular people. Inequality's worse today. Poverty's worse today. All the good manufacturing jobs that used to be in the Midwest are no longer here. And folks that were working those jobs, those people's kids, are now, working minimum wage jobs. So we got to ask, whose economy is it good for? Not good for the regular person. At the end of the day, this is about jobs going overseas. They tried to put out some figure about a certain number of jobs, the folks that were pushing this, and that was looked into, and it wasn't true at all. It'll be a minimal thing. This is about big corporations trying to get more power. And I encourage everyone to do some research, check out the website. I'm going to share some info with y'all now. But thank you for letting me have some time during your meeting, and please make these calls.
Come back next month and give us an update on things.
Okay, I will. And, hopefully for the 25th, those of you that live in Columbus, we can get y'all out to that to be a part of the town hall as well.
Thank you. Any old news? We don't have it. Can we get a motion to adjourn the meeting? Can I get a second?
Second.
Any questions? Questions, comments? All in favor to adjourn the meeting, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign? Pass. Thank you. If you can't make it to the service, we'd like to get strong presence at the Blake Official. Tony, that'll be right now. It'll be on the west side.